something that's already established very well or something, you know, and it kind of pushed her back a little bit. So she looking at everything a little different. How did it change your world? Like, how did it change everything for you?
So with that being said, no, I wasn't intimidated
Yeah.
with them having the years that they had.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strong-minded person. And he'll tell you I'm very strong-willed. So I knew that they had history. I knew they was high school sweethearts. So I was like, that's fine. I was just here to add. And like I tell him, he'll tell you this is forever. This ain't something that we just gonna wake up and do.
Yeah.
I've been here for 3 years. We got a daughter together and a child on the way. And this is where I'm at. Like, everything that she have, he gives me. There's no, oh, well, I'm only gonna do this because she's, no. There's no, it's equality, equity.
Yeah.
Equity.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I was just here to basically try to be more of a helpmate, you know, try to help her with what he needed, what she needed. And I learned things about myself. We all know I'm only 24, so my maturity level when we first got married,
yeah,
where is that now? So I had to grow and learn with certain things.
And what she crying for?
Now I can say I'm mature in certain things, and certain things I'm still working on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's, you know, way of life. But he's been patient with me, you know. Like, we used to have our World War III arguments, but it got better. You know, we have to, because I was independent. You know,
no, yeah, no, we had ours too, so I love it.
Yeah. Right. Like being a single mom, working, going to school, and then I had to transition into being under somebody. That was hard, you know. But like I said, if he tell me to jump, I'd be like, yep, hi. So that's just me. I'm more of a servant. I like to please.
Trust it, yeah.
Yeah.
So with balance, right? To jump on balance with everything, Bruce. Scheduling. I know with me, I schedule a lot of things to make sure we have our one-on-one dates because that is where the strength of the relationship always lies. To make sure our bond is there. You know, is that something? How do you handle the one-on-one times and to manage everybody? You know, how everything goes scheduling wise.
Well, I mean, like, I'm gonna answer it indirectly, and then I'm gonna answer it directly. It really depends on the family, and it really depends on your vision and mission. You know, our goal, like, we build families. That's what we do. And I'm an educator. I travel all over the world teaching. And so, like, I had to scale all that down to, you know, especially in this lifestyle, a man got to really be home and run his kingdom, you know. And so I had to scale all that down. And so with that being said, it's like when we first started, you know, they had days that, you know, opposite of each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, so she'll have Saturday, she'll have Sunday, she'll have Monday, you know, we did that, and I had like Friday to myself. And you know, after all that, because, you know, everybody just came in, and I just wanted to make sure everything was equitable. You know, I don't really do equal, I do equity. You know, and so I just want to make sure everything was equitable with them. And then after that, we transitioned to no days because everybody got more mature. You see what I'm saying? And so it wasn't more about individualism and selfishness. It was more like, okay, I'm strong enough, you know, whatever that, okay, like
it came to more that understanding of what we're doing, what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so after all that, I found myself kind of, you know, dipping a little bit. So I told him, I said, look, we're going to just do days, but we're going to do one day. And so we instituted one day. And with that being said, that doesn't mean they only get one day with me, but they get one mandatory day that is nothing but just whatever they want to do, you know, whatever. You see what I'm saying? And then the other days is like, you know, they'll ask like, hey, you know, can we boom, boom, boom. And so we'll work it like that because, you know, we busy, you know, because we got property and things like that we do. So we believe in self-sufficiency and helping families build, you know, self-sufficiency and things like that. And so, so they respect my time and I respect, you know, what they do. You know what I mean? So that's how we got into it. You know what I mean? So as far as that, yeah, And the reason why, and let me say this, and the reason why I say equity and not equal, because a lot of times people want to be equal, and you got to think, okay, equal is like this,
Yeah.
but you got to think of your children, you know,
Yeah.
children, and I use that for an example. One
Yeah.
child can need you a little bit more than the other child, but that doesn't mean that that child, you love that child more. And
Yeah.
so when you think about equal or equal, you know, it's like, okay, if I give her a step stool that's 10 inches high and I give her a step stool that's 10 inches high, she might not still look over that wall, but she still, you see what I'm saying? And so I
Yeah.
might give her a step stool and her not, you know, but because it balances each other out. I'm all about balance. And so
Yeah.
equity balances things.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, because also it's just learning your partners as individuals. You know what I mean,
Right.
and learning them and how to suit what suits them. One might not need as much as the next. I love that. I loved how you just broke that down, because a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? So I love how you just dropped that science. Oh,
Sorry about that.
I know. I thought I lost you for a minute, but I love how you dropped that science, my brother. That was live. A lot of people don't understand that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's really understanding and really focusing and studying your partner, your wives, how they are, your partners in
Definitely.
general.
Definitely. And like I said, I definitely love, your approach and how you handle things. Is because, like, what I tell people, number one, I said a man is a husbandman. That word husbandman is an agricultural term, which means master or cultivator of the garden. The women are the garden. And so that man has to be able to know what this garden needs and be able to cultivate that. And so he also knows what it's lacking. And so when the powers that be, or whoever, whatever somebody believe in, it don't matter. When they're gifts, we're all gifts, but they're gifts, and I was entrusted with them. And
Yeah.
so that means that I have to know what they need. I have to know their likes and their dislikes, and I have to be able to. And also, as a man, as a husbandman, as a person who grows crops in agriculture and raise animals, I have to be able to know how to give them what they need to make them grow and to
My
make them better.
brother. I
You know?
applaud you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Hold on. We got a couple of questions. Let me draw some of these
What?
joints.
Okay.
Here goes a question. People want to know, what kind of boundaries do they have in the relationship?
You want to know what kind of boundaries? I mean, it depends. It depends on your relationship demographic. It depends on your vision and your mission for your family. And it depends on what type of boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's kind of a general question, but it's like, well, go ahead. Jasmine gonna take a shot.
Okay, boundaries. If she's talking about the women or our relationship, like they've been together for however long they've been together, so they have a relationship together. Just as well as me and him have a relationship. So if me and her want to share certain things about our relationship, we can do that. But we have boundaries. We just don't cross boundaries unless we are invited into that. Like, let's say something happened between them, and he's like, "Hey, Jess, come here. I need you to do this and that." Vice versa, he'll do the same thing. Now, if you're talking about trying to deal with a disagreement, we can use that. But if you're talking about sex or anything else outside of that, we have boundaries. We ask each other, like, when it's not our day, hey, was you chilling with a babe or whatever, like, so we won't, but it's still up to him if he feel like he wants to chill with us, or he be like, nah, I'm chilling tonight, like, we go do our thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's
So
live.
it just depends on the boundaries, like he was saying. It depends. But like I said, we don't get involved in each other's relationships. But because me and her that's my sister, that's my big sister. So I may say something to her, but that don't mean she gonna go back and tell him.
Tell him. Yeah. It's
Because
all
we
good
just have our
respect.
relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are boundaries.
I like that. I like that. Hold on. There's a grip of questions, so I'm gonna try to bring them up. All right, this person wrote a long one. I feel like all poly families always talk about sitting down to set boundaries, but no one says what kind. You just dropped that, so we're not even gonna answer that.
Right.
This one says, how does the system work?
Well, a system has to be, number one, a closed system in order for it to feed itself. A system has to feed itself, just like a car system. A car is one car, but it comprises of many systems that work together to make that car move. And so that's how this is. Like, we all come from different backgrounds, we all come from different things, but we work together interdependently in creating that system called family, which is also our culture. Culture is family. And
Yes,
so we
sir.
created our culture and our family, and that's our system. And so it supports each other. You see what I'm saying? So take, for instance, take how, you know, like if you got people on that's, you know, religious society. Take church, for instance. Here it is, you pay tithes, right? You pay tithes to a building. In return, the people collect that tithe money and they do whatever, right? And all actuality, it would be dope if the church actually owned property, right? Actually owned houses so that their members can have houses. And then when they donating their money, it's actually taking care of everyone in that community. That's how we run our house. And so that's a system. And so we all contribute to one pot. That pot takes care of everything that we have to take care of. And then we divvy out allowances. You see what I'm saying? Then we divvy out allowances and we have savings. And I've been running this for so long, and that's why we was able to purchase 5 acres in Texas and 10 acres here in Nevada, because that's exactly what we do. You know,
Love it.
And there's no outside help. It's our family.
Yeah, and that's the way you want to keep it. That's the way you want to keep. I love that. Hold on, let's keep. Like I said, that's just right question. So, how it feels stepping into a couple that are already married? You already answered that, so I'm gonna move. You know what I mean? How did the women deal with jealousy? We get that a lot too. Trust me. You know, I always go back to what Shalon says, right? You know what I mean? And I'll let you answer that too. But I always have to touch on that because I love what Shalon said. Shalon said you can never really, you're going to deal with the emotion. It's natural. But you never know what's going to trigger your jealousy. It could be, you don't know what you're going to see that there or what's going to happen that's going to trigger it. I love how to find it. But how do y'all deal with it? You know, because the question was for y'all, you know.
This is for them, but let me say this because I'm gonna let them answer it. Jealousy, in a way, is not. It's controlled. It can be controlled, but once it steps into envy, that's a whole different beast. Because jealousy and envy is two different things. Jealousy is that baby. You see what I'm saying? Jealousy is that, okay, you can rock with that. You can talk through that. You can say, okay, I'm always about root. So I'm always about, like, what is the cause? Like, what happened to make you, or what was something? Because that's what I do. I don't deal with the jealousy. I deal with the reasons behind jealousy.
Facts.
So go ahead, y'all.
No, you go ahead.
So always tell women, because you know that question comes up a lot. So always tell women dealing in polygyny or just relationship period, it's gonna come, but we have to transition past however we feel and, you know, talk it out if we need to talk it out. I know sometimes with us we'll just
we be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because we both Libras, and it's like a lot of stuff that we deal with, we be like, I'm more of the silent one. She's more of the louder, outspoken one. So it's like whatever I'm thinking, she already thinking too. But she'll say it. And I'm like, nice.
Because she's like, well, they probably didn't do this right. And I'm like, oh, well, he did the same thing to me too.
So but you know, like I said, it do come, but don't stay there. Because like you said, once you stay there, and it's like you now playing a movie in your head, basically.
Yeah.
So
I'm a thinker.
I mean, we both thinking. I'm always
It's funny because I tell them, and like I said, we're not perfect, you know what I mean, at all. But I like to say this: is that you can't control your thought, right, but you can control your thinking. And so once the thought comes there, you have two things to do with it. You can either get away with it. Who's that? Oh, yeah. Either throw that thought away, or you can entertain that thought. Now it becomes thinking. And once you start thinking, now it becomes bigger than what it is.
Facts. You create a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, yeah, that's loud. Hold on, let's do a few more. Let's do a few more. I saw they just keep riding. They really love it, y'all. How
I
do
just really feel about one being
do you
pregnant.
have children?
You see, golly, that's a deep. I answer that.
Speaking.
Oh, y'all getting deep with these questions now, but
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. Like I said before, we have to grow into a lot of things. Like, you know, obviously she stopped having kids, so she's done, and she knew him potentially bringing in another woman, they should be able to have kids.
Yeah.
So, like I said, people have to grow. We grew. Now I'm pregnant with our son. She's like, "That's my son. Let me feel my son. Let me." So we had to grow to be like that. You know, like you just don't wake up and be like, "Yeah, da 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 da." But it was still some. We had to work out the kinks. Like she was still emotionally feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
And I had to be understanding.
Yeah.
You know, because I know me, I'd be like, well, why you like, come on now, like be cool. But I had to understand
From her perspective and
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where we at now, we good. Like we be at the stop like, oh look at that baby. She like, so, yeah,
yes.
But yeah,
I mean, shit, might as well be.
Exactly. But that's the same thing we dealt with. Chantel's pregnant. You know what I mean? At the moment, Shalon doesn't. Shalon, she doesn't have babies. You know, we already have our two older children, and that was a transition. You know, of course, when the news it was shocking to Shalon, where it took a transition. It still affected her emotionally. You know what I mean? Because she kind of wanted children first. So we had to go through that whole little hiccup. I'm gonna just consider it a hiccup. But that's the same way they are. You know what I mean? Chantel, she's 5 months, so she comes in. Shalon just oh, you're 5 months still. We about to be, yeah. So, you know, as soon as Chantel comes in, Shalon's this way, how's my nugget? How's my baby? How's that nugget? You know,
yeah,
that's the time, but it is there. So trust me, I can relate. That's live. That's live. Let me hit out one more question. I'm gonna just do one more because there's like 10, 15 questions. Let's see. Oh, how long did y'all date Jasmine before she moved in?
A month or two.
Yeah,
like a month or 2 months.
A month or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
He don't believe in dating. So he don't believe in dating. Like we talk like every single day. Like as much as I talk to him, I talk to her. Like we FaceTime, we did all of that. Like he even, cause my kids, I had 2 older kids that were smaller, and then I had just had a baby when I came in. When I came in, the baby I just had was only 2 weeks, so all she know is him. So we just, you know, we rocked it like that.
That's what's up. That we moved in quick too. It was like shit. I think 2 days. I don't even know. It was fast. Like let's make motherfucking happen. What we doing? Let's do it. We waiting for it. We ain't playing no games.
But you don't have to to be honest, you don't have to overcomplicate nothing. Everything is going to be trial. It's like a child. Like if you plan to have a child, I don't care how much planning you made, that child's still going to whoop your ass. It's like, you know, it's like, and so you have to grow, you have to learn. And it's a little different because, you know, you can't question the energies. You can't question the universe or the spirits or whatever you want to call it, you know. And it's different with me because I'm a Cancer, and so I'm all about family. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see past things. I see things, you know, that other people don't see, and I have been, you know, seeing that up until this point, and I trusted it. So it's like when you make these judgment calls, it's like, yo, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out.
Facts. I like that. Let me ask y'all this question for me personally. You know what I mean? What made y'all convert to life coaches? You know,
well, I would say this. So, growing up, I grew up. You know, I was taught. I had many mentors. You know, I studied under many mentors. Rabbi O'Shea, Rabbi Mesmer, Rabbi Daniel Zangler, Rabbi Byers, all that. And so, you know, being rabbinic, you know, and studying one house, two house teachings, which was good, but I felt that I can be more effective outside of religion. You see what I'm saying? And I, you know, because as long as you, because I wasn't that type of, like, I study a lot, I read a lot, I do a lot of things, and I'm always question and challenge things. And life coaching just seemed more because it's like when you tell somebody you're a pastor or you're a rabbi, automatically you get blockers, or they thinking that you're going to talk to them based off of the Bible that you believe and not necessarily that they don't prescribe to. And so with life coaching, it was easier for me because I deal with principles. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so principles is one thing that you can never deny. You know, and so it allowed me to talk to many different people, you know, the LGBT, whoever the case may be. I can be more of effective helping them versus if I was in the box of religion. If I was in a box of religion, that religion box would tell you, no, you're going right, no, you're going to hell, you're doing, you know what I mean, all that garbage.
I like
and you're not meeting the need of that person because you're biased. You see what I'm saying? And so that's me. I have a love for humanity. I have a love for people, and so I couldn't be in those boundaries. You see what I'm saying? To be more effective. So that's why.
Let the people know where they can reach you at, fam. I don't know if y'all want to type it in. I could pin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Type it in.
Yeah, shit. Jasmine's gonna type it in.
Most definitely. I want to say, man, I greatly appreciate y'all coming on and doing this, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people, there's so many questions. You know, I love how you dropped a little bit of knowledge and some gems on them today, like that, because that shit was live. Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
she typing it now.
Your focus, man. But I really do want to thank y'all for doing this, because I'm trying to bring, like I said, every family on. I want to touch on questions. You know, when I'm on there. Oop, there you go. Did you put? Oh, there you go. Look, I'm using this whole little boop. There it goes. That's where y'all find them. I'm gonna leave it on while I talk to other people.
We're gonna put she's putting some more on there.
I did it right back.
At Coach Bruce Taylor, yeah.
And I was following y'all a long time ago. I was telling him it was a few months ago. I had seen one of y'all videos. Y'all was being interviewed by like some news interview in Houston. Are y'all in Houston, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling him about like this word that y'all use. Y'all said quiet. I was like, oh, damn, I just learned a new word. That's an empowerment.
We put his personal page on there, mine. So it's Coach Bruce Taylor and Queen Killia.
I go only pin one. Look, I'm new to this. Y'all doing it?
No, it's 3 of us.
Well, you know, to be honest, just tell people to find us on Taylor Family Empire. You know?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna leave that on there. I greatly appreciate y'all for joining me on this. You know, if I start doing this again, I'm gonna bring y'all back on. You know, cause I love what science y'all drop. I love the happiness. I love the enjoyment that y'all bring, the family, the unity. That's what I'm trying to show people. This is possible. This is where you could be a happy family, a blended happy family at that. So
and this is not play. You know, this is what you get from us.
Well,
you know,
first of all, I don't even pay attention to social media, so he told me at the last one. I was like, oh my God, wait, okay.
I need you to pay. You better put my alerts on. You better put my.
This is how we are in real life. You know,
got back from the store and everything.
Yeah, we just. Yo, I was trying to hurry up. Yo, we got back from the store. I was like, yo, we gotta go. I gotta make food for them tonight. So I was like, man.
Thanks. Well, much love, family. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm gonna make sure the people go out there and contact you and let them know that you are here to educate and help anybody out there in need.
I appreciate you, man.
Peace.
Blessings to the family.
Peace.
All right.
Peace. Yo, man, they was live. I ain't gonna lie. They was live.